On this episode of At Home with Eastbrook Homes, we look back at 2023 and forward to 2024 with Josh McGraw. And as I said on this episode At Home with Eastbrook Homes, Josh is back. And first, Josh, Happy New Year. And how are you, my friend?
Happy New Year. Yeah, man, I'm good. Life is good. You know, we got through the holidays. Holidays are always fun, but it's nice to get through them too. You know, businesses change a little bit, but everything went well. Family's good. And yeah, I can't complain.
So walk me through that. That's an interesting place to start when we start with the holidays. Like in your industry, what happens in those 2 weeks? Is buildings like does it just freeze? Like what happens to that industry for those 2 weeks?
You know, we try to keep going as much as possible. I mean, that's the plan. That's the key. But yeah, I mean, we have people that are off. They're taking vacations. You know, we have the time off anyhow. You got a bunch of trades that are doing the same thing, and they're off too. So I will say it doesn't come to a screeching halt.
Sure.
But it certainly slows, right?
Slows. Gotcha.
And rightfully so. We want people to enjoy their families. We want our employees to enjoy their families and our trade partners to enjoy their families. And it's a good time for everybody. I will say, though, what I hear when we do come back after the holidays is it was a really nice time, but I'm kind of glad it's over and I'm ready to get back to work, right?
Yes.
That would be both inside and outside. But, you know, we keep pushing through and certainly slows, but it works for us.
Josh, we'll go backwards and then we'll go forwards. Let's go back to 2023. I mean, obviously, one of the fun things you guys got to do is you were on House Hunters, not I think more than one time last year, but you were on at least one time, so that happened. What was 2023 like for Eastbrook Homes, and kind of if you had to put a bow around it per se, how would you kind of sum up last year?
If I was going to sum up last year in a pretty quick phrase, I would say better than expected. You know, we were coming out of 2022, which was a really good year, but the end of 22 really started to slow. Those last 2-3 months, we were starting to see things that we weren't certain what 23 was going to look like. And so while cautiously optimistic about it, we're also trying to be realistic with what our plans and you know, our prognosis was with how many houses we're going to build. But as we got into the year, it really started to pick up. And, you know, 2023 turned out to be a pretty good year, pretty similar to 22, slightly better even than 22, which we were surprised with. But yeah, it turned out to be a pretty good year.
As we are, a month into 2024, I'm interested in what you have going on this year, because on top of the day-to-day business that I'm sure you will hit on, you guys have decided to be very busy this year.
Well, who likes to be slow, right? Nobody wants to take time to relax. We did that, as I said, you did it during the holidays. You got that chance.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, you got a whole 45 minutes of sleep. It's time to get back at it.
That's right. Time to get back at it. Yeah, 2024 is going to be a neat year. We're excited for what we have. We have some new communities coming in. We have a location in Allendale, which we really haven't been in Allendale, since forever ago. I can't even remember the last time. So a new project called Emerald Springs there, which we're really excited about. That's going to be single family phase there, all around a little pond in the middll, basically one big loop. So one entry. So it's going to be quiet, really nice neighborhood. So we're excited about that. Excited about being in Allendale. A new community going out in the Spring Lake location, Kingfisher Estates. That'll be bigger lots. We're excited about that. Just trying to get that going here this year. We're looking at another potential in Spring Lake that we're not quite ready to move forward fully on.
Yeah.
Or divulge where we're at, I guess. But we're excited about that, and new phases. A number of new phases coming in. Some communities have been really good for us in Lowing Woods and that Hudsonville Jenison area.
Yep.
That's got a new phase coming. Harvest Meadows, that would be in the Lowell area. New phase coming there. Macatawa Legends out in the Holland area on the golf course there. Beautiful community. New phase there with new products too. So we are busy.
And we'll get to the new products in a second, but I'm interested. Obviously, when you're building out new phases, that is driven by demand, I would imagine. But when you're looking for new properties, and like you said, you hadn't been in Allendale for a number of years, is that you build it and they'll come, or is there demand there as well? Like when you're putting up a whole new community, what's that metric like versus obviously as you're building new phases, it's okay, Lowing is at full capacity. Do we have space to put more? Because we've got people that want to be there.
I would say there's a lot of things that go into it, right? It is demand, certainly demand for the area. We look at school districts. School districts certainly are something that families are highly invested in. They want to make sure they're in a good area there. But it also comes to what's the land give us? Is it something that we feel is right for how we want to do our communities, how we want to build them? We're type of builder and developer that wants to come in and really use the land as it's there. We don't want to go in and just recreate something.
Sure.
So I would say the lay of the land has a lot to do with it. Obviously, pricing has something to do with it. Is this the right investment for us, and can we make this work and be cost effective for our own developments? Therefore, we can be cost effective for the future homeowners there, for the buyers in there. We want to make sure that we're able to deliver something that the general public has an ability to own. So I guess a lot of different things that come into that, but demand certainly is a big part of it. And I think school district is a big part of it.
You were just getting into the new products, but before you actually kind of talk about the products, and a couple of them I'm very excited about. Mm-hmm. When Eastbrook Homes is doing that, rolling out new, like whole new homes or plans or, whatever you're going to jump, I don't know where you're going to go first, right? But like wherever you're going to go first, what is that innovation cycle like? And by that, I mean, if it's a new home plan, are there hidden of these new home plans somewhere in the world that exist that you're testing them out, similar to like the McRib shows up in Indiana and they're like, yeah, that's a thing. We should bring that to everybody. It's like,
why not?
How I'm sure it's not like the McRib, but what's the innovation cycle for you and your team? Because they're constantly working on the inside, obviously, moving things around. But when we're talking about whole cloth, a whole new building, what's that like for you?
It starts from the development. We'll go back there, right? What does that site give us? What does it allow us as far as the units per acre and such like that? What's the density we can get? And so sometimes we're creating new products in order to fit a new area that we have, a new development for different lot sizes. And some of the newer stuff we've had is to be more cost effective. So I would say that's a lot of it there is how do we find a plan that's very functional, that lives really well, but that we can bring to the market at a good price for our customers to buy. So the cycle goes back a lot of different places. We do go around and look at different places in the country. We try to find other people that have done something similar. We then maybe recreate it, make sure, again, that it's efficient. We like efficient plans, that the space is used well. But we have a group of people here at Eastbrook that are super talented. And so I would say there's probably a knit group of 5 to 8 people that really go through, starting again with the development. What's the footprint? What are we working with here? And then work your way through the plan. Are you building a ranch plan? Are you building, 2-story, or is this a condo? But some of the new products are based on cost effectiveness in taking something we kind of do already and then maybe finding ways to make it more efficient, maybe a little less square foot, but that I can bring to the market a little better price.
Talk to me about the Haven. Obviously, it's an iteration on the Cass, but what's the iteration there and what's the difference?
And it's funny. So it's inspired by the Cass. The Cass is actually a townhouse. And this is where we have these great people here at Eastbrook that took a townhouse building that we have, and traditionally townhouses for us have been 4 units or 6-unit buildings, 2-story, some with basements, some without. And we had a member in our team go, well, why don't we think about putting ranches on the end of this townhouse? Light bulb. That's kind of a neat idea. Which really, creative, super creative. And we started messing with that. And from that, we found our Cass with this ranch end units. That just was a neat plan. That then went to our condo, because the Haven is actually an attached condo product. It's not a townhouse. So it's a 2-unit. We can do it as 3 units as well. But that kind of went to, well, our Channing is a great condo product that we've had for a long time. A little larger, and it's attached unit. We've done those mostly as 2 units attached. That can be done as 3 as well. But we were, again, finding that in some areas, our price point was just a little bit higher than we'd like it to be. We'd like to find some room to be able to make that more cost effective for our buyers. And we thought, okay, well, let's take this Cass ranch unit off of a 4-unit townhouse. Let's take out the middle 2 units and let's put that together and make a little a condo plan, which is in turn turned out to be a really nice plan that we've certainly made more cost effective for our buyer. And again, an efficient plan, a nice, bedroom up, with the, so you're on the main floor for the owner's suite on the main floor, have an ability to finish the basement. If you want to get 1 bedroom down there, potentially 2 bedrooms. And, again, you're losing a little square footage, but you're finding ways to make that plan efficient for buyers and be cost effective for them. So that's kind of where that came from.
And then let's talk about the marigold, because I think this is like the coolest. It looks so dope on the outside.
Yeah.
How did this one come about?
Thank you.
Well, just the aesthetics on the outside, like the detail work on the outside is really, really cool.
So again, this is where we're trying to use our developments to the most that we can, right? Again, if we can find ways to take that density down a little bit, it allows us to bring it to the market at a more cost-effective price. This actually came from our terrace plans. So our terrace homes are detached, right? They're standalone buildings. Most of those have been on slabs, so they're 2 stories. Most of them are 2 stories on a slab. And as we looked at our new development in Macatawa, we've had some townhouses there that weren't as efficient as we'd like them to be. And so what we did, again, some smart people on our team said, well, what about this terrace home? We can probably make this into a townhouse if we put them together. So we took one of our terrace plans that was a really popular plan, found a way to marry them up, create a 2-unit townhouse building that has some really nice aesthetics on it, able to get that again on a nice a lot size that's cost effective for our buyers, and looks great. As you said, it's a neat looking plan. This really came out of our terrace product. So all of this, it goes hand in hand together. And this is where, being that developer builder, we're really able to do that well. And able to allow the land to help us dictate what plans we put on there, and then be able to create that land usage to the utmost.
We talk about this often, but I really think that this can't be overstated, because as people are entering into a new year, they obviously have aspirations, New Year's resolutions, whatever they want to call them. They've got something that they want to get done before the end of the year. If that thing is a new home build, can you kind of just like level set what that would be like for them in 2024, kind of walk through the process and how they get started and how they inquire about the new products or even the new places that you're building, the new communities? Where do they start?
Sure. It's easy. I mean, in the end, I think people do believe that building a house is just this monumental task. I could never do it. It's too much. There's too much to it. I don't even know where to start, right? That's kind of where you're going with this.
Well, because that's when you say it to people and they're like, I don't even know where I would start with that, right? Like, am I going to live in a pod? Like, how do I do this? I have no idea.
We try to make it as easy as possible. In the end, the starting point for us is on our website. Trying to find what really works for you. What kind of home are you really looking for? Are you married with kids? Are you, single and you're just looking to get started? Are you looking to move down because you're now, empty nester? Start online, see what you want. But we have a great online team too, right? Our sales team, we have an online sales team that can really help you walk through the process. If you go to info@eastbrookhomes.com, you can send them an email. You can call them. We have chat. They'll really help you start to know what direction that you need to be. They're going to ask you lots of questions to help get an understanding of what you're looking for. And then they help narrow it down to, okay, well, what areas are you looking for? Sounds like you're looking for this type of plan, which may direct you to a certain type of community. And from there, once you get that, we'll get you with one of our salespeople out in the field to really start narrowing it down. They do an amazing job of walking you through all the different features in each home, helping you understand where your price is, what your budget is. We want to work within your budget, and it'll help us understand your budget. Let us help you understand what we can get you within that budget, because in the end, everybody's got one.
Right.
Whether that's low or high,
yes,
everybody's got a budget.
Yep.
And we want to help you work there. In the end, what we want to do as Eastbrook is help you make good decisions. It's truly what we want to do. Because in the end, home ownership is the American dream, right? It's always been the American dream, but it's also the way that most people start building their wealth is by having home ownership, and we want to help you start there. Whether that's starting in our terrace home, or an attached condo, something that's or a townhouse. A townhouse is a great place to start for that single person who goes, "I'll never afford this."
Right.
Well, maybe you can. We have some nice townhouse plans, and yeah, it's a stepping stone, and maybe it's not perfect that you want to be in forever, but no, it's never perfect on the front side. But we have some really beautiful plans that you can get to. So, once you get through that, I mean, our team on the inside, we walk through the structural with you. We walk through the design process with you. We have great team members that walk through the whole structure with you, help you understand the layout of the house, the spaces, and the electrical. And then you get with our designers. We have an amazing designer team that, there's some people in the world that are really good with colors, and there's some maybe not as good, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But they help you walk through that too. Again, get your personality, your style, your taste, and they help you put pieces and parts together. We have an amazing design studio here at our office that you can put it all next to each other, right? So all the products you can line up. You're not going to a tile place to go look at tile. You're not going to a flooring place to go look at flooring. You're not going, right? It's all right here. So again, we try to make it as easy as possible. We want to help you make good choices. We want to stay within your budgets and help you make good financial decisions. But in the end, we have people say all the time, "Wow, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be."
Which is the goal, my friend. Josh, as always, it's been an absolute blast. If you want to get started, as always, you just head to eastbrookhomes.com. My friend, have a great 2024, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you so much. You do the same. I appreciate your time.